Hello, I'm Karen, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how covfefe actually crochets up a pentagon and a pyramid. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to make the whole dodecahedron, but I'm just going to demonstrate how this works. Okay, but before I do, I just want to say that I did actually make a video in 2018 to do with covfefe, and that video actually became quite popular during the lockdown, and so that's actually had nearly 70,000 views now, and 75% of my people that viewed it liked it, so thank you very much for that. I do want to say though that covfefe video and this covfefe video has nothing to do with politics whatsoever. It's all to do with the crochet code that I found and that I've been researching since 2016. And for those people that put in the other video saying that it's to do with the covfefe Act, you're actually wrong, because for the covfefe Act got put forward, so it was introduced. For it to become law, it has to be then passed by the House, passed by the Senate, passed by the President, and then it becomes law. If you go on congress.gov, you can see it's actually still only in the introduced stage, so that hasn't gone any further. Okay. In today's video, I'm going to be using my number 4mm crochet hook, which is actually G6 in US terms, and I'm just using some normal baby acrylic yarn in pink. Okay, so what I've done here is I've actually written down the pattern. I don't know whether you can see that very well, so I'll just bring it up. So this is the first pattern here. Okay, the symbols are: the circle equals a magic circle, the C equals a chain, the V is a V-stitch, which is actually a double crochet, chain one, double crochet, a line down is a double crochet, and a line sideways is a slip stitch. This is American terminology, so if you're in the UK, you need to just change this to a treble. It's still exactly the same stitch, it's just the wording is different. Okay, so I'm going to begin with a magic circle. And please excuse the shadowing, it's winter over here in England and the light's really not very good. So I'm just going to begin with my magic circle. So to do the magic circle, go underneath the first one and over the second one, pull it up, twist it, and then we make that chain one. Okay, this chain one needs to be quite loose because we're actually making the V-stitch next. So that's that first bit done. So now we're going to do a V-stitch. So that's chain one and a double crochet. So that's my V-stitch, and then it says to double crochet because the line down is a double crochet. Okay, so that's that bit done. Now we're going to do another V-stitch, which is double crochet, chain one, double crochet, and then the actual double crochet at the side of it. So that's that bit done. Then we're going to make another V-stitch there, and another double crochet. So that's that bit done. We need to make another V-stitch, and a double crochet. That's that bit done. We've got one more V-stitch to do, and then it's 2 slip stitches. Okay, so we've got to pull this tail end tight. The very beginning bit where we did the chain one and the double crochet is tipped over slightly, so we're just going to slip stitch underneath those 2 stitches there, and then slip stitch into the center here, which, even though that it does look quite round at this moment in time, you've actually got groups of 3 stitches, a chain one, groups of 3, and the chain one in between, which is actually based on the granny patterns. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. I'm going to make the second round, because obviously this is just the first round, and the second round is when you're doing granny squares or granny pentagons, as this one is, you would then do these corner pieces. So I'm actually going to do these so you can actually see the full pentagon and how that the centerpiece is actually the pentagon. And the when I actually discovered this, I do have to say I was actually really surprised. And the significance of a pentagon to do with the President of America is to do with the US defense. Okay, as you all know, that's the pentagon. Excuse me. And so and because all of these patterns that I'm going to be sharing all follow the same format, they're all the first round of a pattern, and then you continue with the actual granny sequence to be able to then make them actually into the products that you want to make. And these obviously are all geometric shapes, which are makes it just even more astounding, I suppose. So and I will share obviously the other bits, but I just wanted to just crochet up this just so that you can actually see this is genuinely a pentagon, and then I will show you how that very first round is actually covfefe, or I don't know, other people pronounce it differently, but that's how I pronounce it. Okay, so we're just going to just do, so if you was actually doing this a project and more modern day writing, it would say something like 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet for the corner pieces. So I'm just going to just do this bit here, but obviously in this pattern what we're doing is we're actually doing 2 double crochet and then a V-stitch in the middle with 2 more double crochet at the side of it. So we'll just do those 2 more stitches, 1 and 2. Then we're going to slip stitch into the top of the 3rd chain now, there, and we're just going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches and then back into the middle. So if you wanted to keep on going into continuous rounds, that you would then actually do it. And as you can see, we actually have the pentagon. Okay. So obviously, I say, to discover that and the significance of that, I thought that that was extremely significant. So I'm going to put that to one side. I'm just going to show you how that first pattern is actually covfefe. So we've got a C there, and this is following an O and a V. This one here I'm going to put this way round, and we've got a line to make the F, and then this V shape I'm going to put that way round, and we've got 2 lines. This one here is going to go that way round again, and the F, and then this one is to make the final E, which is in capital letters. And I know that Donald Trump didn't do it in capital letters, he did it in lowercase, but I wanted to show you that he makes 2 patterns and they're both significant to the president. Okay, so the second pattern, which is this one here, which is going to actually make the pyramid. So I'm just going to get my yarn again, and we're actually going to follow this one. So we're actually doing the magic circle there, and then we're going to do a chain of 2 this time. So this is that bit done. Then we have a V-stitch, which is easier to do with the chain of 2 at the beginning. And a double crochet at the side of it. Whoops daisy. There. Then it's chain 1, 2 double crochet. So chain 1, 2 double crochet, 1, 2. So that's that bit done. We also need to do another chain 1 and 2 double crochet. That's 1 and 2, just there, and then we need to do a chain, and we're going to slip stitch. Because this is really tiny as well, we just need to just slip stitch into the top of that second chain. Oops, I've actually into the chain there, and then we'd slip stitch. I'm just going to just slip stitch to the corner because I'm going to carry on making them, but it just makes it easier as well for you to see that we've actually got little pairs. So this one's done in a pair version of the granny pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this again out of the way, continue with the rounds just so that you can see. Whoops, I've got too many yarns over there. 2, 3. So it's still following exactly the same format like I was doing with the other one, but this one is done in pairs for the corners. Okay, so we're going to have another double crochet there, and then we're going to go to the next chain 1 space and make a double crochet. This would then be a V-stitch, and a double crochet, and then into the next chain 1 space we're doing 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, which it doesn't matter which way around you say them really, it's just to show you that this is actually the pattern, and you can say it in different ways. But the significance obviously of having a pyramid as well, because it's 2 different crochet patterns and they're both significant to the president, then to me they definitely was following my code that I've been trying to research and work out what did it mean, and now I can demonstrate that it's actually all to do with crochet patterns. Okay, so now you can see the very middle bit of it, so you can see how it makes that little pattern in the middle. I say it wasn't until I actually got to round 5 when I actually realised that this actually made a pyramid. So it's chain 3 again and a double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet. But I just want to show you how it works when you're actually doing the side pieces as well, because of it being, it's a continuous thing. They're granny patterns and they work. So we're going to just do these 2 in here, there, then we're doing a corner piece again, which would be 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet. We're at a side piece, so we just need to just work 2 double crochet in that side piece. At the end of this round you should be able to see the tiny pyramid. But anyway, the significance of a pyramid is that in America they actually have the pyramid on their Great Seal, and it's also on the back of the dollar, and it has 13 steps on the pyramid, which is to represent the 13 states that when they became independent, because there was originally British colonists and some European colonists that settled into America, and so those are the first 13 states. The eye at the top of it is the Eye of Providence, which is to represent God with the all-seeing eye, to be looking over them, to keep them safe, and to also make sure they behave themselves and play by the rules. And to be able to actually crochet up a pyramid and a pentagon from covfefe, I thought was worthy of actually sharing, and as much as that my code may seem strange to some people, it's actually correct. Okay, so I'm just going to stop at this point here. I say we've only done 3 rounds, but what you do when you actually get bigger is you just, where you've got these bits which are your corners, you pinch it together, and you can see it makes a tiny pyramid. And obviously to keep on going we end up to be able to make this big pyramid. This has actually got 9 rows to be able to fit. I did make a cardboard cutout because, to be fair, I did make a small one and it was really hard to see when I stuffed it. So I thought, you know, I'm going to make a cardboard cutout. So if you actually want to make yourself one, you need to make a triangle to start off with, which is 5 inches across the bottom, 4 inches tall, and these are for your sides. So when you're drawing on a piece of paper, you'd put one down, overlap it like that, and keep doing, and you just do things to score the sides to be able to make your pyramid. This has actually got 2 pieces that just literally slip stitched together. They are not attached to this, they're just literally wrapping around. This bit comes away, okay, just so that you can see, and just so that you can see that actually this beginning bit that did actually make that is the lowercase version, following the format that I've been using to be able to do this writing. So we've got a C, we've got an O, we've got a V. To be able to make an F, we've got the curve of the top of the F, and we want two lines, one to go that way, one to go that way, and then we've got another C shape there. If we put a line in it, we can turn it into an E, and then we've got another curve. We've got the two lines again to make those, and then this one creates the E. And so there you can see that I've demonstrated that covfefe actually creates a pentagon on one side, pyramid on the other. Okay, now the reason how I actually discovered all of this and got to this point was actually because of when I was actually doing my coded work, and I actually found the code in Yahoo. Alright, and so this is the actual symbols from Yahoo, but if we turn this into a pattern, so we've actually got a circle there, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for our chains, and we've got a V-stitch and a line. We've got this here is another V and another line. We've got another V, and we've got another line there, and we've got the V there, and we've got this line there, which is actually the slip stitch. So what I'm going to do is just to prove to you that this all matches and it's all following exactly the same format, we're actually going to now cut this off, and we're actually going to make the very original pattern that I found in Yahoo, which is following exactly the same methods and the same format. Okay, so we begin with a magic circle, and we do a chain of 3 this time. So that's 1, 2, 3. So this is the top section done, and then we make a V-stitch. So it's a V-stitch is the double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and then we do a double crochet at the side of it. So that's the first bit done. Then we do a V-stitch again there, and a double crochet. So that's that bit done. We'll make a V-stitch, whoops, and a double crochet, which is that bit done. We do one more V-stitch there, and then it says to slip stitch, so I'm just going to just pull it all together and then slip stitch into the top of the third chain like that there. So that's that bit done. So I'm going to move that out of the way so you can actually see that this is actually following exactly the same format, is the very beginning and the middle of a granny square. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the corner and then make the second round doing exactly the same things that I've been doing before. So it's a chain 3, 2, 3, and then this one is done in little groups of 3, so we want to just make 2 more double crochet there, chain 1, and do 3 double crochet there. Okay, because that's our corner piece. And then we want to go into this chain 1 space and create, which could be 2 double crochet, a V-stitch, and 2 double crochet there, and then into the next chain 1 space. So this way around we're going to say it as 3 double crochet, chain 1, and 3 double crochet there. We've got one more corner to do, so that you can actually see that this is actually a granny square and that the beginning piece is absolutely perfect to be able to do this pattern. And so my code that I was working on actually genuinely does seem to be a crochet code that and this one from Yahoo is actually 6000 BC when that actually was done, so this is actually 8000 years old. And covfefe obviously is only 2017, but they follow exactly the same format. You can keep on going, just pull that tight in the middle, but you can see, yeah, we've got the perfect granny square. So if you want to make the base to go with this, to make this 5-inch base, you need to do 6 rounds of the base to match the top, so that you can actually make that exactly right. And if you actually want to know even more, we can actually make a cube, obviously from the square. And if I actually, because I actually did my translations to see what does crochet actually make, we actually get a 3-sided pyramid and an equilateral triangle, which obviously when they're together makes a tetrahedron. And if we actually make up all of these granny square triangles from crochet, we can actually put them together and we can make an icosahedron, which is a 20-sided thing. It actually looks like it looks like a giant ball of yarn to be fair, but these are actually all got these triangles in the middle. Okay, and just for one more little bit of fun, I actually crocheted up the pentagon in red, because after you get so far it starts to get wobbly. But many of you may know that if you fold it in half, you can actually make the elf stocking. So I'm just going to just show you that. So if you make it, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, then you fold it over and you just slip stitch down these 2 edges there, and it would make you your little stocking. You can put whatever you want around the top. I just did like just a little chain frill. Okay, so there you go. And this is just to show you that actually you can make geometric shapes from a coded pattern that I did originally, found one bit in Yahoo. The pentagon and the pyramid were from covfefe. See, this is Yahoo, this is covfefe, and this is crochet. I will actually do you another video to show you how to do these bits so that it can show that it actually also works. Okay, so there you go. I thought it was fascinating. I wanted to share, so thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. I know that I'm not doing as many videos as I have been doing, and that's because where I work for, they didn't actually furlough anybody, so I've been working all the way through, and I found it really hard to actually find the time to be able to make these videos, but I have actually managed it. So I'm really proud, and I just want to say as well, thank you, Mr. President Trump, for actually putting covfefe in your tweet, which actually led me to discover all of these, because without that I wouldn't have done this. So you do, I just owe you a big thank you for that. Okay, so thanks again. And by the way, we did say this is nothing to do with politics. Okay, this is just purely my crochet code. Okay, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing. Bye for now.